Hello, hello, hello. It's Knits for Sanity and welcome to day 5 of my holiday celebration. This is my advent calendar from Add More Zest, both diamond painting as well as their 12 days of Christmas gift advent calendar. They did have a 24-day. I was unable to get that. It sold out super fast, but I did get their 12-day. Definitely go check out Rebecca at Add More Zest. Fabulous YouTube channel. Great content creator, fabulous store. Go check her out. But let's begin with day 5. All right, so this, if you could feel this, you would have no trouble guessing what this is. You might even be able to guess by looking at it. But let's open it up. And I'm actually excited because I feel what kind of tip is on here. And I have tried one of these tips and I loved using it. Here we go. It's a new drill pin. But I've tried these angled tips before. That was, I think, with my last crystal canvas art design painting. I used an angled tip. And for completely single placing something, I loved it. I loved it. But look how pretty this is. Beautiful, bright cherry red. Perfect holiday color. That's lovely. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Add More Zest. That's gorgeous. Well, I'm going to have to get that one prepped and ready to use. Hopefully maybe for tomorrow's painting or maybe the day after. Oh, here's day 5. And how this works is I have labeled all of them for the right number. And then I pull back the cover paper for each day when we reach it. And as I've discussed before, I did not do an exact perfect job with boxing off each day. So I am only putting drills on what has been exposed. So for example, box number 5, I am actually missing its border row over here. That is covered by cover sheet for day 15. That's fine. I will just do this when I do day 15. I kind of had to let it go and just say, let it rest. Eventually the whole painting will be done. I'll basically still be doing all of day 5 right now. So that is kind of the backstory there. And then what I have been doing for these videos is I just chat and share some holiday related stories while I work on my painting here. And then when I've chatted for just a little bit of time, then I go ahead and I put you on super fast speed and you can watch me very quickly finish up this square. And then I come back briefly at the end just to show you what the finished product looks like. I am doing another Advent unboxing for Happy Mermaid yarn. Even if you are not big into yarn, if you're not a knitter, crocheter, fiber arts enthusiast, it may still be worth checking out those unboxings as well. They are super short videos, anywhere from about 4 to 8 minutes long total. And I have loved doing them because over there I am doing different little facts and tidbits related to the holiday season. And I'm such a nerd. I have really enjoyed researching all of this information and sharing it with everybody. So if you want to be the person with all of the did you know stories at your next holiday party, go check out those unboxings. Otherwise, for today's holiday related story, I actually thought I would give a little bit of an update for what's been going on in our house for the holidays so far this season. A couple days ago, I mentioned, a couple days ago, I mentioned how we were going to be watching Muppet Family Christmas on YouTube. That daughter number 3 is Muppet obsessed. And we have never seen this Muppet special. Well, okay. Odds are I did see it, but I would have been very, very little and really would not remember watching it. It aired in 1987, so I would have been a pretty small little tyke. And I think, it has been released on home video. However, you cannot ever get it in its full, complete form because like so many things before we realized that we would reach a day and age where you would be able to watch virtually anything from your living room, copyright issues just don't permit all of that special being released for home viewing. It was just stuff that was meant only for that one TV release. So, excuse me, that was kind of a bummer to realize. And I thought that with watching it on YouTube, there was a very good chance that we would have to watch the edited version. However, I am happy to report that based on what I have read about the actual full-length version, I think that is what we watched. I think we watched the original 1987 aired on TV version of this special. So that's pretty awesome. And whoever put this up really did a good job. It was obviously old, and it felt like you were watching something old and recorded from TV, but they had really taken the time to fix it up a bit, and it actually wasn't a bad viewing experience. If that makes sense. It didn't feel like we were watching something super old and grainy. Like, it didn't feel like something that had been recorded in 1987 and now we were watching it 35 years later. It felt like something that had been recorded, 10 years ago and we were watching it now. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, they did a really nice job trying to fix it up as much as possible. But here is the part that, I had more of that. Well, that's okay. I can use it from here. But here's the thing that just really I found amusing. This special was a hit with the family, except for my 7-year-old son. He thought it was boring, but all of my girls loved it. I could not believe how much my oldest, my 14-year-old, got into this special. She was totally into it. My older two were like, "Oh, it's Elmo!" Or wait, it's that blue guy. I'm like, "Grover? Oh, yeah, Grover! Big Bird!" They got so excited when they saw Big Bird come on the screen. It was unreal. They loved this special. Normally, especially for my oldest, when we try and do like family movie stuff like this, she doesn't stick around. We typically will get a pizza, which is what we did, and we'll eat that while we watch this movie as a family. And for the most part, when she's done with her pizza, she's off. She's done. She's seen enough. She stuck around for the entire thing. It was only about an hour long and loved it. It was crazy. I had to use the bathroom so badly for like the last 20 minutes that we were watching. And I thought, oh no, I am not getting up and leaving. The whole family is sitting here. My older two children are totally into this. My 14-year-old daughter, who lives in her room and we almost never see her, is out here watching this with all of us. Oh no, I will just cross my legs and hold it in. I am not leaving until we are done with this entire special. So if you have never seen it, go check it out on YouTube. Like I said, I think it's called the Muppet Family Christmas Special. It's something like that. If you look up those words, you will see it. And it actually was pretty good. There was some pretty awesome humor in it. It was well done. It was very, very well done. So it was a great experience. And I'm so glad that I thought to try and find this on YouTube. Just super duper fun. It was so much fun. So definitely if you've never seen it, if you're at all interested, even just mildly interested, go check it out. A couple of the best scenes are the Sesame Street characters. Some of them are putting on this Christmas play. The Night Before Christmas, I think, was supposed to be the play, but Grover comes out and it's something like, "And as you can see both of my arms to show that they are not stirring." because he's a creature. And so he wasn't stirring, and he's holding a pot with a spoon in there. Anyway, watch it. It will be worth your time. I really, really think it will be worth your time. So in other news, my husband and I, like I said, it was our wedding anniversary, and we actually had gone out the day before for our anniversary, and we went to a bookstore. That's probably about 45 miles from our home now, but way back in the day when we first started dating, that is where we had our first ever official date. Now, like I said, we started dating because we knew we were going to get married, but figured it probably would go over better if we dated first for a while. And so that very first date that happened, it was the night before Thanksgiving that we went on our first official date. So we went to this bookstore that also has this nice little cafe in there. We got a small dinner, and then we went back to his place and we watched The Importance of Being Earnest. I think then we watched some Futurama a little bit later that night. And I mean, that was really about it. A super simple date, but you know, we went to bookstores a lot when we were dating and before we were dating. I mean, we're nerdy bookstore type people. So yesterday, now that the kids are older and we can just go out for several hours, just the two of us, we had enough time that we could travel to this bookstore again. And we spent a few hours there. We had a nice later lunch down there. We got a lot of our Christmas shopping in while we were at the bookstore. Because one thing about being a couple of nerds, quite often nerds beget nerds. So we were able to get a lot of our Christmas shopping done for the kids. I don't think my son will have any interest in watching any of these videos. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about this, because then one thing that I love about doing these videos and that I've thought about is I'm hoping that one day my kids will have a treasure trove of memories of their mom sharing all of these stories. And that was one of the reasons why I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Is I do love to write, but my time for writing is very limited versus, ironically, my time for producing and editing videos, while still limited, I have a little bit more time and ability to do that because this is something that I can take with me. You know, I can edit videos while I am waiting on kids for dance class, or to pick them up from Quiz Bowl practice or Odyssey of the Mind practice. So I thought that this would be potentially another way to preserve some of these memories. Just kind of another backstory with the channel. And in addition, I wanted to see what it would do for me and like my own mental health, being able to talk through stuff. And it's been great. It's really been a very good experience. It's been about, okay, that is right. I'd say it's been like 95% good and about 5% bad. And that, to me, those are phenomenal numbers. I'll take it. All right. So my son, like I said, nerds beget nerds. My son is 7. And he is not a fiction kid, okay? He likes nonfiction stuff a lot. And he has been really into the immune system for a couple of years. Yes, a couple of years. He's 7. So there is a graphic novel series, and then Japan made it, it's a manga series. So it is actually Japanese based. And then they made it into a animated series called Cells at Work. And it talks all about, well, cells at work. And I can't remember. I think it is pretty much exclusively on the immune system. You know, what happens when you get a cut to your skin? What takes place? What do your cells do? What happens when you get a cold? What happens when you get a bacteria disease. And he loved this show back then. All the kids really did, but it was just really interesting to see my 4 or 5-year-old son be so into this show. Well, he still is really into the immune system. And currently he is building a model of the immune system with his Legos. I don't understand it, but we got macrophages and the T cells are here, and I don't get it. I don't get it. The kid's 7 and I'm already totally lost. And he told me that for Christmas, he wanted this book called Immune. I'm like, oh, okay. I wasn't really listening. Well, so yesterday we were at, the bookstore, and I'm like, okay, so my son wants this book called Immune. So I look it up on Amazon to see if I can figure it out on Amazon, and then look for it in this bookstore. And there's only one book that pops up that's actually called Immune. But it's a 328-page book, clearly not for small children. But he said it was called Immunes, but I'm like, no, this can't be it. He doesn't know the real title of this book. So I found him a different kid's book that it's about microscopic things related to the human body. So bacteria, viruses, stuff like that. So it's still related to immunology, but it's not exclusively that. So I found this book instead, and we were going to get that. But I text my oldest. She's the only one with a phone, although daughter number 2 is supposed to be getting one next month for her birthday. I'm still trying to work out how we're going to pay for that. But that's another here nor there incident. But I text my oldest and I send a screenshot of this book from Amazon. And I ask her, will you ask Havelock if this is the book he's talking about? Because my husband had texted our oldest, and all that we got back was, it's called Immune and there's bacteria and viruses on the cover. Okay. So I send a screenshot, and I hear back that, yes, this is indeed the book that my son, my 7-year-old son, wants for Christmas from Santa Claus. So, guess who's getting a 328-page book on immunology for Christmas? That's right, my 7-year-old son from Santa Claus. Now, this book is written, he's a famous YouTuber. Kurzgesagt? Must be Kurzgesagt, based on the German. It must be Kurzgesagt, I think is what he is called. My son subscribes to him and we share YouTube, so I can figure it out pretty quickly. But he is, from what I can gather, he is not a doctor or anything himself. It sounds like he was a high school dropout, but then he did meet a professor or somebody who kind of pointed him in the direction of education, and he suddenly found a passion in learning and realized somehow, I guess, that he has a talent for breaking things down into a way, into layman's language, so that the average person understands stuff. And that's what his YouTube channel is about, I think. I am talking about stuff that I know nothing about. Like, honestly, I don't know. My son does. My husband knows more than I do. But anyway, I think that is the author of this book. And the reviews on Amazon were good. They were very, very good. Including by actual physicians and stuff who did say, yeah, no, this is good information. Like, I think everyone should own a copy of this book. So it's like, well, okay, I guess we will get this for my son for Christmas. He'll be thrilled. And I did say to my husband, and we still did get him the other one too, by the way, the picture book about microbes. He's still getting that one too. That may be a little bit more his pace. However, I did warn my husband. I said, there's a very good chance that this will become our bedtime reading with him every night, is we're going to be reading from this enormous textbook size book about the immune system. And my husband's, yeah, I know. And it won't be all bad. We'll learn stuff. So, yeah, that was my son's. That's what he wants, I think, probably the most for Christmas. So that's what Santa is going to bring him. All right, this got really lengthy for some reason today. So I guess I just spent more time than normal talking. It could also be I'm not feeling 100% today. So it's harder when I don't feel well. It's harder for me to use words. So this may have been a little bit more difficult to listen to. And for that, I do apologize. Please be sure to still come back tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow, I will be feeling a little bit better and maybe it won't sound quite as meandering in thought. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and speed you up and I will come back when square 5 is done. I'm back. Here is day 5. Look at that cute little bluebird. He actually looks like he's shaped more like a titmouse, but bluebird coloration wearing a cute little hat. That is so stinking cute. Come back tomorrow. Let's find out what day 6 is. And like I always say, please practice kindness. You never know what someone's going through, so just be kind. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful day, and I will see you again real soon.